Recorded Books presents The Mirror Season by Anna Marie Mclemore. Narrated by Jennifer Jill Araya. This book contains discussions of sexual assault and PTSD. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, please know that there's help and there's hope. If you don't know where to start with RAINN. RAINN.org/resources or 800-656-4673. To the Jane Does who came before me, the John Doe who came forward with me, and everyone who helps us remember, we have names. The Boy from the Surface of the Moon. When my bisabuela first came to this country, the most valuable thing she carried with her was something only she could see. The rest was worth almost nothing. The varnished tin of her favorite necklace. The cloth full of the rose hips she seeded and then ate like hard candies. The shoes she wore nearly to dust getting to the house she would be paid to clean and, eventually, cook in. Even her best dress, moths had eaten constellations of perfectly round holes that mirrored the desert stars they flew beneath. Years later, when there had been a wedding ring, a new stove in a house of her own, a fine dress, the most valuable thing my great-grandmother ever owned was still her way of knowing what bread or sweet would leaven the heart of anyone she met. She could soothe lovesickness with polvorones de naranja, sweet as orange blossoms. She calmed frightened dreams with las nubes, sugared white as far-off stars. It was a gift my great-grandmother had ever since she was a little girl, and when she died, she passed it to me, even though I was too small to remember her face. I think of my bisabuela now, just for a second, because the first parking spot I find in the hospital lot is up against a rose bush, the hardy, scrub-like kind she ate rose hips off of. Then I'm back to thinking about the boy slumped in my mother's car. I don't know his name, or where he lives, or how to get him home, or why he was even at the party tonight. I heard he was visiting from Lancaster, but I also heard Bakersfield and Ely, Nevada, so at this point he might as well be from the surface of the moon because no one really knows. I could check his pockets, but I'm counting on the hospital to do that for me. Besides, nothing good ever came from a brown girl being seen taking a wallet off a white guy. There was other talk about him at the party. Whispers, not just about how he's from the middle of nowhere, but about how he's saving himself for marriage. Too bad for him, Victoria and her friends said. He's cute, even with the acne. Victoria's compliments always come with qualifiers. She looks good, even with the slutty eyeliner. Or, he's not as ugly as he was last year. Or, the one I've gotten more than once, she's kind of pretty, even though she's a little fat. Victoria and her friends declaring this boy cute may be the worst luck he's ever had. I open the back passenger door. He's not tall, but he's taller than I am, which makes getting him out of my mother's car and into the doors of the ER even harder. His limbs are slack, like they're each trying to go a different direction. I have to hold on to him hard enough that my right boob is squished up against him. The curve of my hip shoves up against his leg, jeans fraying against jeans. I wish I had help with him. I wish I had found Jess before I left the party. But telling her would have meant having to explain. The boy from Lancaster, or the moon, looks so bad that his face, washed out as printer paper, and his lolling head pull two scrub-uniformed women out from behind the glass window. They drugged him, I say, as though anyone here will know who they means. We were at a party. As they take him, he doesn't resist.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?